ground or going up?
I would really like to pick it up off of the ground, just one. So let me, what I'll do is we'll just do one at a time. They drop down.
Hey guys, welcome to the Queen Dome. I'm Wanda and this is Danny at Deep South Homestead. We are working today on my greenhouse and he's doing the work. I'm kind of watching and we're going to show you what we're putting these cattle panels up for in the Queen Dome today.
All right, guys, we have got the trellises up behind us here. We got 2 rows of cattle panels here. Down through the raised beds, Ms. Wanda is going to be planting the little marble English peas.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in here and work with it, but look what we did. These are peppercorns and we're gonna let them grow up, and if they get too tall, they're going up here, and I'm gonna try to do an arch where you're coming in with the peppercorns. So y'all pray the peppercorns do what they're supposed to.
We'll see.
And I'm really excited about the peppercorns.
So it'd be nice to have our own black pepper.
And down on the other end of this bed, Danny has peanuts that he did as an experiment, so we're going to leave them. I'm going to take you around and show you what's growing in the rest of the bed and plant the English peas. So this is going to be a plastic cover going over when?
Well,
we keep putting it off.
We keep putting it off, guys, because once again we have storms in the Gulf, and one is projected to make its way up this way, and it depends on the timing of another cold front as to whether it'll come in. And I will not put this top on here until I know, because I don't have time to get the doors and the fans and all that in here, and I don't want it to become like a giant umbrella and the wind get up under it if it does happen to come in here. So we would rather just wait. It's not going to freeze or anything anytime soon, so we're just being patient.
And I'm planting things that are going to go through the winter. We're hoping this will be our first time planting English peas in the fall. Yes. We always plant in the spring and we have great success. We plant late January.
We plant late January, yeah.
So this is October. We're going to see what happens in the Queen Dome this winter with English peas. And I've got a few other things I'm going to show you what's going on.
Well, let me explain why we're doing it this way. The reason you plant English peas in the early spring, like it's actually in the winter months, we plant in late January, is the plant itself can take the cold. It can take a frost, it can take a freeze, but what cannot take the frost and the freeze is the blooms and the little beans that come on them. So by putting them in the greenhouse here, we're hoping that if we start late October or mid-October or whatever we are,
beginning October.
We're actually at the beginning of October.
You're jumping ahead.
I'm lost with my time here, but at the beginning of October, that they will go through the cold months without having the frost and the freeze hitting them. And if we can raise our English peas during the winter months in a greenhouse, it saves us from having to plant them in the garden and get out and be in the bitter cold and the cold mornings picking them and stuff like that.
And then it turns too hot on us. If we don't get them in early,
yes,
it turns hot and we lose all of them. So we have a small window here in the south to plant English peas or green peas.
We have about a 2-week opportunity to get them in, and got to get the timing just right, because if we don't, the powdery mildew hits them because of the high humidity, and it just wipes them out. We get about 2 pickings off of them, and that's it.
Yeah. So we're hoping by planting them in my greenhouse and keeping it slightly warmer, but it's not going to be hot. We're not going to keep it hot, but we don't want it to get down to freezing either.
Right.
So we're going to try to keep this greenhouse above 40 at all times.
40 and above at all times.
Yeah. So that's where we're headed with this greenhouse, and I'm going to show you what we've got going on. We're going to start here in the back. This is one of our tomato plants that came up volunteer. This was one of Danny's hybrid plants, the celebrities. And so we're going to see it's already got blooms on it. You can see right here, see the blooms. And we're going to try and get the covers on so that we can keep it going. This is the Egyptian walking onion, so I've got them going beside it. And one of my ginger from out when we were cleaning up behind here, I found ginger in the ground, so we kept it. Here I have 2 cucumber plants that I planted because Danny said I could have cucumber plants, and I'll show you the mistake I made on the other side, but I put some squash around it and they haven't come up yet. I'm going to probably take these 2 cucumbers up because I've got cucumbers, guys. And this is my turmeric. I moved the big pieces in the back and it's hanging on there, coming back out. All the little pieces I planted is coming up. So we're going to manage to save the turmeric during the winter.
This is the bush okra that we got from the Grow Family Network. I cannot have enough good to say about it, guys. This stuff is already 8 feet tall and it looks like a tree. I mean, literally, look at the base of it here. I can put my hand around it. It's huge. I mean, it is a tree. And this stuff is just getting prolific. It's bushing out. They call it bush okra for that reason, I suppose. I mean, it's bushing everywhere. We did not top it to make it do that. It just done it.
And we're going to top it eventually.
Well, we'll top it when it gets up here. We'll cut the top side of it and let it just keep spreading out right in here. But this is amazing. This stuff.
And it's soft for, it gets really long and really, it stays soft.
It can be like that long. And it's just wonderful. I mean, really good. Good to eat raw. That's one thing about it. It's really good to eat raw. Now, we've had a fire ant problem. We've had some issues with fire ants. And if you live where there's no fire ants at, count yourself, you know, blessed, because they really attack the blooms on it. Now, we are seeing some aphid issues. We're going to be spraying them with some soap solution, trying to get rid of them. But I can't have enough good to say about it. Crickets. I found one yesterday and one today. Grasshoppers. Grasshoppers, yeah. Yes. Until we get it shut up. Get the top on it and get it shut up, we have to look for grasshoppers because they love to eat the leaves. Yeah. And then we have the radishes that Miss Wanda has planted here. These were from House Tools. They are coming up doing fantastic. She loves her radishes. This is was this the rogue tomato that came up? This is one of the... This was other celebrities that fell off on the ground. They were a hybrid. This is what's come back. It is a seed that has come up from a hybrid seed. Don't know what it's going to be. We're leaving it. Gonna see what it does. And then I planted a couple of yellow squash here. Well, let's say squash or zucchinis. It's a squash or a zucchini. We know it's a squash. We just don't know if it's yellow or zucchini. Yeah, so they're here. Then we have the Cherokee yellow wax beans. We put like 2 rows of them like right here. And a few didn't come up. Well, we got to give them time. We'll go back and replant if we have to. But we've got a good stand of them. We'll try to take them through the winter months and see how they do in here. And these tomatoes, were these the same thing? Were these the Rogue? No, these were some I planted. I think they're the Blue Indigo series. Don't count me. Everything I planted ended up being something different. Well, I will not argue with that. But whatever Ms. Wanda planted, that's what it is. Usually the Blue Indigo, if I look at it, the plant will be blue, and I'm not seeing blue. So it is. The base is sort of blue. You can see blue tint to it. But we have a potato that come up back here. I'm not sure. I planted it. Did you? Yes, and then I have my chard. I have the rainbow chard in here. This Wanda's inner plant and everything.
Yes.
And then here is her cucumbers that were supposed to be squash. And they've come up, and I put a trellis in here for them, so we're gonna let them run up the trellis.
And look at the blooms already. I mean, blooms galore in there.
Look at that.
Everywhere. And we're gonna try and trellis them like we did the other greenhouse and see what happens.
It's gonna see through the winter months if they do what they're supposed to do. You know, we'll try it. I mean, we don't know till we try. So that's our thing. I shelled out, guys, last year I harvested some peanuts and I forgot about them being in a big old bag. They were still in the hull, and I found them later after a year of just sitting. And I told Wanda, I said, I don't know if they're any good or not. They were kind of shriveled up a little bit. So I shelled all of them out, put them in the freezer, and I brought 2 of them out and stuck them in the ground here. And voila, they are still good. This is the Virginia Fancies. They came up.
A bug ate one of them and it's come back out.
It's come back out. The crickets got, or grasshoppers got to it, but
yeah,
they come up, so evidently the seeds are still viable, and I'm excited about that.
Alright guys, so I've got the queen dome planted. I'm headed in to eat. I planted around my okra, I planted some eggplant because they are companion planting. Over here I planted some Blue Lake green beans, and then further back contender green beans because we're not saving seed. And I also planted right in this front section in front of the blue lakes, I planted some kale, and we're going to see how that does. So guys, I hope you enjoyed a little bit about getting my greenhouse ready for the winter, and before long we're going to be putting the plastic on. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.